this assignment in the pocket of your folder. And then you can turn in your notes to page 5. We started it, okay, but there's a lot to continue, okay? Also, because we're probably gonna do a few things that aren't in there, I'd like you to go ahead and have your notebook out. That way, if I ask you to do some practice problems that aren't in our packet, you have your notebook out and ready. All right, this is a Wednesday, so I'll just remind you that we get out at 25. Okay, that's also for me, so that I remember that we get out at 25. Okay, all right, so last week we did some work with absolute value and opposites. I need somebody to raise their hand and describe to me what an opposite is. Oh, yeah, do you want your homework? Just word at the front side, okay? And I'll post answers for you to check. Okay, who can tell me what an opposite is? Okay, how about I do this? I'm gonna write a number down. Who can tell me, raise your hand, what the opposite is? Jada, what's your opposite? Okay, so 5 and -5 are opposites. Who can now describe to me what an opposite is? Ryan?
Two opposite numbers are two different numbers.
So like 5 and 7, they're two different numbers.
Oh, like one's negative, one's positive.
Okay, one number is negative, the other one's positive. So like 5 and -7.
Same number, but positive and negative.
Okay, so Brady, do you want to help him?
Numbers that have the same distance.
Okay, so we have a positive and a negative number where they both are the same distance away from 0. So 5 and -5 are the same distance from 0, 10 and -10, or they have the same absolute value. Okay. Awesome. Now, when we subtract, we are really talking about adding the opposite. Okay. And that's why I wanted to review what an opposite was. Okay. So what do I mean by that? Here is a subtraction problem. Okay. I have 5 minus -2. What we are going to do, since subtraction means add the opposite, we are going to take 5 and I'm going to add the opposite. Okay. So I'm going to add the opposite of what I was really going to subtract. Okay. So I'm turning it into an addition problem, but if I turn it into the addition problem, then I have to change this number to the opposite. Okay. So subtracting integers means adding the opposite. Well, that's a lot of words to remember. So here is what I want you to remember. Keep, change, change. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Keep, change, change. Okay. Keep, change, change. So keep, we keep the 5 as is. Change, we change the subtraction to addition. Change, we change the number to its opposite. So 5 minus -2 is really a +7. Okay, so let's go into your notes and let's fill in. I wanted to talk about it before we fill this in. So subtracting 2 numbers is the same as adding the first number to the opposite of the second number. That's what we talked about first. We're going to write down our keep, change, change. We are going to keep the sign of the first number. We are going to change the subtraction to addition. we are going to change the sign of the second number to the opposite. So you'll see me write KCC for keep, change, change. Okay, like when I'm doing like an answer key, I'll write KCC, keep, change, change, just as kind of a reminder for you. Okay, you okay with that, Brady? All right. Now, I've never taught Math 7, but from what I hear, you about this in Math 7. This is just kind of like a reminder, right? Okay, so let's go to that first example right below subtracting integers. It looks like, well, let's just, I forgot I have a reminder. Okay, since we're taking all of these subtraction problems and we're changing them to addition problems, guess what? That's what we've been doing for the past 2 days. Some of you are like, oh, I'm so over adding numbers, okay? But our subtraction, we're just gonna change them to addition, all right? So remember, if we are adding integers and we have the same sign, we're gonna add the numbers and keep the sign, okay? Remember, if we have different signs, then we're subtracting and we keep the bigger sign, okay? So we'll still need that to help us. Now let's look at that example right below, that number 5, I think it is. We have 32 minus 45. So since we have a subtraction problem, we are going to change it to an addition problem. So we are going to keep, change, change. So we're keeping 32. We're changing to addition, and we're changing 45 to be negative instead of positive. Keep the sign, change the sign, change the sign. Okay. I like to put that negative 45 in parentheses just so that like my negative sign doesn't run into my plus sign. That's more of a personal decision. I'm not gonna like get mad at you. The math police are not gonna come and get you if you don't put those parentheses. That's more just so you don't make a silly, I can't read my handwriting mistake. Okay, so now we have an addition problem. Okay, Bronson, what is true about the two signs of those two numbers? These two right here? Okay, so we have different signs, which means, okay, we have different signs. So we are going to subtract and then keep the bigger sign. All right. So we need to take 45 minus 32. Okay, if you need to do that off to the side, that's fine. If you need to look at my number line, that's fine. Corin, do you think you can do 45 minus 32? Think she has 13? Kinley, do you agree? Yeah, yeah. Okay, now Kinley, should our 13 be positive or negative? Why positive? Why negative, Kinley? Okay, the negative is with the bigger number, the 45. So our 13 needs to be negative. Okay. All right, so let's review what we did. Okay. We kept, so we first of all identified subtraction. That's the only reason why we rewrote this. Okay. We identified subtraction. So we kept 32. We changed the negative. We changed the sign here. Now we have an addition problem with opposite, with different signs. Since we have different signs, we subtract and keep the sign of the bigger. So we subtracted 45 minus 32 to get 13. We keep the negative. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 6. I don't want to do the problem, but what I'd like you to do right now is just write what you think the keep, change, change should be. Jada says, I got this. Right? Okay, good. Okay, so we are subtracting. That's the first important thing to identify. Since we subtract, we keep, change. Okay. Let's see. How do we write the keep, change?
Change the value to a plus.
Which one? I see 3 negatives. The one in the middle is a positive. What else? Okay. And then 12 gets to say negative. Okay. So here's our keep, change. We keep the negative with the 12. We change subtraction to addition. We change our negative to a positive here. So now we have an addition problem. This is what we did yesterday. Okay, and what is true about our addition problem? We have same or different signs. Okay, and when we have different signs, we are going to subtract and then keep the bigger sign. Oh, okay, so we need to take 31 minus 12. 31 minus 12, what did you say? 19. Okay, and does the 19 get a positive or a negative? Positive. 31 is the bigger number. It's positive. Here we go. Okay. All right, for number 7, write me the keep, change. Write the keep, change, and then compare it to your neighbor.
You change, you keep the 49, change the addition, and then change 76.
So much ass over here.
I know.
Oh, she's being rude. She said nobody asked.
Because. Oh, boy. Be nice.
Be nice.
Be nice. Oh, it's not.
All right. Denise, can you explain what our keep, change should be?
You keep the negative,
Okay.
you change the minus sign to a plus sign, and then you change the 77.
I think, she thinks. Do you think that Denise has this right? Yeah, you got it. You got it. Okay. Woo, Denise. Okay. So now, Ariana, we are adding. Are we adding with the same signs or different signs? Same. I like adding with the same signs. I feel like that's easier because we get to add the numbers and keep the sign. All right. What is, oh shoot, 43 plus 76? If it stresses you out, we can do this right here. It's 119. Okay, because you could totally do this right here. Okay, and Braille, my 119, should it be positive or negative? Negative, because we're keeping the sign. The next one's confusing?
Yeah.
All right, we better do it together, huh? Number 8. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're gonna be okay. So we're subtracting 3 numbers. So let's just do one thing at a time. Let's focus right now on -7 minus -14. All right, let's do our keep, change for this one. Okay, and we would have 7 change to positive, change to positive. But we still have our -6, okay? Who said what? Think about it. Trent, have a question? No? Okay. Oh, no. Trent is paying attention.
I didn't change it.
I can find.
Nobody told me that I didn't.
Well, you're the best.
Well, but if I make a
Out, I didn't
mistake,
notice.
if I make a mistake,
I'm not gonna correct you.
why?
Extreme.
I'm doing it on purpose.
You can have it.
So Trent, thank you.
Wait, I can't even see it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No. Come on. Okay,
Worse when it's,
Every-
it's so bad.
okay, come on, come on. We got it.
sauna.
There we go.
The FCS doesn't.
All right, so this should be a -7. Thank you, Trent, for finding that error. Guess what, guys? Sometimes I make mistakes on purpose so you can catch them.
I think
I
that's
see it, but like I freaking went.
Mistakes are valuable, people.
Yeah, but like.
Okay. All right, so we have a -7 plus 14. Okay, so now we're adding with different signs. So we're gonna subtract the numbers, okay? So what happens when we take -7 plus 14? What do we get? 7. So now we have 7 minus 6, okay? Now, most of us don't need to do the keep, change, change, but if you want to do the keep, change, change, nobody's going to. Yeah, okay? So we can say that 7 minus 6 is 1, or if you want to do keep, change, change, to see that we have 7 plus a -6, we get to 1 either way. Okay, all right, so this is what you're gonna do in your notebook. In your notebook,
In my notebook.
you're going to work on these 6 problems. Ready, set, go. No.
Stop. You should
My
go
whole
sit,
body
you should go
hurts.
sit in a corner by yourself. Like, oh.
Oh, corn shit. She's just like making a bunch of noises.
This is you where you're like, like,
Stretching and then she judges me.
Okay, I'd like you to take a moment and compare any answers that you have. If you didn't get some of them done, that's okay. Which one was that? Okay. So you changed it to 9 plus negative. Okay, so now what are you gonna do with it?
Oh, shoot.
break that.
Oh, they have different signs, so that's correct. Okay, so take what's 14 minus 9? 3.
Wait, number 5. About number
About
2.
5. Okay.
You just literally just the same thing. Number 3.
Good, and it's negative.
3. Why is this out of order?
Because I went up and down.
I should just go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so if you did not get them done, that's okay. All right. Write down the work as we go through them here together. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in on number 1. Brady, I want you to write the keep, change with your answer. So write keep, change, like the whatever your work right here. Can you do it?
This is awkward.
So keep,
Change.
change.
And then it would be 16 and then in English 23.
Okay, does anybody disagree with Brady's work?
No.
Okay, we have our keep, change. 7 plus 16, we're just gonna add those numbers to be 23, okay? Number 2. Do any of you three wanna do number 2? Yeah. All right, everyone's gonna take care of 2. So keep, change. Love it? We're adding 2 numbers that have different signs. So she is subtracted and her answer is negative, -5. Does anybody disagree with her Riesland? Okay. So we have our keep, change. We're adding with 2 different signs. So we subtract. 14 minus 9 is 5, but we're going to keep the negative. Okay. All right, let's transition to number 3. Who feels confident about number 3? Over on this table. Keep, change.
Oh, geez.
Ah, that's a nice one. Keep, change. We have 14 plus a positive 15 for an answer of 29. Does anybody disagree?
No.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. Number 4.
Alright, so keep -16. That.
Keep -16. We
Oops,
change
not
the
plus, but just a positive.
Change to a positive.
+4. And then. Gosh, I don't care. Do you want? Okay, I got you. What's going on out there? All right, and then we got the -16. Take away 4, and you're left with -12.
-12. Do you agree with Frank? Okay, so we are adding 2 numbers now that have different signs. So he subtracted and he kept the negative. Okay. Other of you 2 want to do number 5? You'll have to rock, paper, scissors.
What?
Yeah.
Who's that one?
Oh, I thought you did.
Yeah, she does.
No, where is that?
Oh, okay. All right, so keep, change. Oh, the smiling face. We keep the -5. We change this to addition. We change this to positive. -5 plus 5 is 0. I love it. And a smiley face.
Get it, rock, paper, scissors, right?
Yeah.
And I know you would go. Come on, Ryan.
So
Come on, Jay.
keep the -4. Change that.
Go,
and
Ryan.
then -13.
Looks great.
Perfect.
Okay, so our keep, change. We kept -4. We changed to plus. We changed to -9. We have the same sign, so we can add these two together and it equals 13, but we keep the negative because we have that sign.
Those are actually.
They are.
Yeah? You like that? All right, so your homework I have for you